Beep, beep, beep. Da, da, da. Am I alive? I think I'm alive. He's alive. Oh. Yeah. Let's just get all these yawns out of the way right away, everybody. Come on, do it with me. Yeah. I feel much better. Now, let us all collectively rub our noses. I think we're good for it. Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Meyers, and this is the Monday edition of the Mike Meyers Ask Mike Anything live stream. The goal of this live stream is to provide those of us who are isolated by the coronavirus an opportunity to continue our studies for CompTIA certifications. So we do IT fundamentals, A+, Net+, Security+. We could certainly go outside of that as well. So the goal of this is for you to ask me questions. Ask Mike anything. So you ask me questions one of two ways. Number one, either you post it right there, or right there, or right there, depending on how your chat window looks like on your system. Mine is over, I can do this. There it is. There's my chat window. And just type your questions in right there, and then we will answer them. Do keep in mind, sometimes I get busy here, and if I miss a question, don't get mad. Just type it again. It's not a big deal. I miss questions all the time. I'm being helped by my buddy Scott Jernigan, and Dave Rush is also here, I see. That's always good. And so just type in questions. If you're the shy type, nothing wrong with that. We also have an email address. Send me an email at michaelm@totalsim.com, and I will be glad to answer questions that way as well. So do it either way. I don't look at the emails during the presentation, so if you type in an email like right now, I won't see it till later. So never get mad if I don't, just yell again. We get a lot of questions in here, so I'm always glad to help out. So this will start, it starts at 2 o'clock here in Houston, Texas. Daylight savings time just kicked in. I'm still tired. That extra hour means a lot to me, by golly. But we will run till 4 o'clock or until the questions run out. So it's really completely up to you guys. Sometimes we run long time. Sometimes I've had these that last only 45 minutes. Just whatever people need. I am here for you. So with that understanding, thank you, Alan. I'm beginning to count on your letting me know I sound good more and more. So what I want to do is let's take a look, see if there's any questions that popped right up. Majdi Daifa, hello, Majdi, am I pronouncing your name even halfway right? Mr. G, I'm Mr. G. Griffin Novetsky, are you doing an updated Security Plus course to include 601? If so, what's the ETA? Yeah, Scott and I just finished the Security Plus book, so that'll be out on prints within a few weeks. We have not done our Security Plus video because it's been very, very hard to get any video production people to do anything. In particular, we have a wonderful piece of talent. I'm trying to get Dan LaChance to come in here, but even Dan called about a week ago. He goes, Mike, I just don't see the... Dan's up in Canada, and he's like, Mike, I just don't see the coronavirus cooling off. So I'm not sure I can make it there to do the Security Plus video. So we are scrambling and working hard to get something out as quick as we can. So sorry about the delays on that. No. Oh. It's going to come out a lot better. I'm going to just start sitting right here and just look pretty. Scott and David are beating me to the questions so quickly now that, or we can just put a little card here of me going like this. Okay, what do we got? I'm looking for questions. Maven Feliciano. Maven, something's happening with our awards. We've got there's one person in particular, and Maven, if it's you, I'm going to yell at you, who literally is expecting my company to respond to you almost instantaneously. So let's start off by understanding something. Total Seminars is a little tiny mom and pop, okay? And usually we respond within a couple of days. But if things start getting a little weird, or somebody's sick or something like that, we just don't have the facility. I'm not ExxonMobil, all right? I have exactly 12 people who work at Total Seminars, and out of those people, half of those people are production people who help make videos and make great books, and then we have a few very, very hardworking people to fulfill this stuff. I got a very stressful email. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to do that. Somebody starts complaining that they didn't receive a product that they'd asked for. Then it ends up they've ordered the wrong product. And then now on top of that, I got 2 totally different salespeople. If I could contact this person directly via the phone, I would simply say to them at this point, I don't want to do business with you because this is wildly rude. So, I'm sorry that we're having a couple of problems. I'm not aware of anybody else having problems. Seems like everybody else seems to be doing okay. But I don't know what to tell you. You need to call me directly. And Maven, send me an email, and you and I are going to speak on the phone. Maven, send me an email. Oh, here. There's my phone number, buddy. Okay. All right. So, but I am sorry. The folks who work real hard, we are giving this stuff away, so I'm not sure. We'll get you fixed up. That's the important thing. All right. Okay, so Maven, it now looks like you're contacting Scott and Dave Rush. So starting as of this moment, Maven, I'm going to disconnect from your problems because it looks like you're literally getting every single employee of mine wound up. So I'm just going to back up a little bit. Scott Jernigan, Dave Rush, please take care of Maven, and let's make sure he gets his product as quickly as we possibly can. I do apologize for the trouble, but I'm going to wash my hands of it because you're asking 17 different people. Austin Noonan, remember me, Mike? I passed it. Yes, congratulations. Well done, Austin Noonan. Carla Rain is asking, hi. Wondering if you will have any app updates. So Carla, Total Seminars doesn't do apps. McGraw-Hill, who actually owns pretty much everything I do and say, there's a big long line of people who line up and say they own all my stuff, that most of them do absolutely nothing, while me and Scott and Dave Rush and people like that actually create and make amazing products. But with that being here nor there, no, it's very much here. Carla Rain, hi. I'm wondering if you will have any app updates. We do update our. We don't have any apps. Carla, other people pay McGraw-Hill money to have the rights to do these apps. Our hands are literally tied. We don't even know this is happening. So I apologize. There have been a few apps in the past couple of years, and we have nothing to do with it. We have no quality control, no anything at all. So sorry, I don't have any control on that. 205, Jen, how can I be confident and stop the nerves test is stop the nerves? Okay, well, Jen, that's an important thing. The number one reason people fail CompTIA exams is because of test anxiety. So what you need to do is mellow out. I know it's just say no, but it's harder than that. The first thing you need to remember, Jen, more than anything else, is that certification exams aren't like SATs or placement exams to get into law school or stuff. You know, I have names for these, but since we're international, I'm trying to be sensitive to it. So you just have to be cool, you know, and recognize that if you fail the exam, it's inconvenient. but you just retake it. Yeah, it's gonna, you're gonna have to pay for the test again. It's expensive. Yes, it slows down your career because you want to be up and working. Yes, it's it hurts your brain a little bit. I failed. Jen, I fail a third of all the certification exams I've ever taken. It's okay to fail exams. Don't worry about that. What is important is that you trust your materials. And Jen, I'm gambling since you're on here that you're at least using some of my training materials. Do I know of other practice tests? Yes, Jen. My company, Total Seminars, we sell them. We're one of many, many people who sell practice tests. If your test is on Saturday and today is Monday, you have time. Jen, we're going to have a competition today giving away practice questions, and we're going to do this, hopefully, just for you. But the bottom line is, Jen, is that you can get access to our online practice questions online very, very quickly. Now, keeping that in mind, Jen, there's a couple of things. Number one, because they're online, you have to have a decent internet connection, all that. Hopefully that's not a big deal. But secondly, not only am I going to do some competitions today, Jen, for you to give you a chance to win some free practice questions, we have 50% off deals for my practice questions. My practice questions are, in my opinion, the best practice questions in the market. I think they're also the cheapest in the market. But then on top of that, we're offering 50% off today. So just so you know, Jen, this is for anybody who's listening. But Jen, we have the Ask Mike Anything deals for this week. You get them for half off, okay? So 50% off all CompTIA practice exams and total tester bundles. Now, Jen, you got to pay attention here. We do not sell the performance-based questions with the regular multiple choice questions. We sell them as two separate products because it works a lot better for us to do it that way, because it's very, very difficult for us to be able to get quality practice tools by combining them. So the bottom line is that if you want performance-based questions and you want some practice questions, and it sounds like you do, what you're going to have to ask for is called a total tester bundle. That combines our performance-based question product, which we call our total SIM, S-I-M, with our total tester, which is just the multiple choice questions. So, in order to take advantage of this deal, all you have to do is go to www.totalsem.com and head on over, buy your practice questions or your bundles. It's pretty easily marked in our merchant area. And then just to checkout, type in MAINE, M-A-I-N-E, 1820. And don't be in a big panic about this, Jen. Scott Jernigan will put all this into the live chat for you as well. But yeah, Jen, if your test is on Saturday, you probably ought to grab some practice questions. I have some great ones. There's lots of people out there who sell great practice questions. Mine are the best. And I'm pretty sure that's all you're going to need. The other thing I'm going to warn you, Jen, is because you haven't been really doing any practice questions, the first thing that's going to happen the moment you open up these practice questions and start looking at them, you're going to freak out because you haven't seen practice questions like this before. You're just not ready to handle it. And what you got to do is make yourself be comfortable. Read the question. Take your time. The questions are designed to mimic the look and feel of the actual CompTIA exams. I'm assuming, I don't know who you are, Jen, but I will assume that in the past you've actually been doing some studying, and you should find the practice questions to be pretty straightforward. But that would be the big thing you need to do more than anything else, Jen. And on top of that, not only do we offer you 50% off on those questions, Jen, but even then I'm offering you a shot, because you have a lot of well, not a lot, we've only got how many people? Not even 50 people on right now, Jen, who will be competing against you to try to get some free practice questions. So do keep that in mind. All right. But Jen, here's the other thing. Trust your skills. If you say you've been doing Udemy. Udemy has okay questions, but those are the videos, and you'll be fine. Patricia Grace, when using Rufus, Dave, Scott, should I even bother answering? Patricia, have you guys already answered all that stuff? And I'm going to have to stick to a rule set here. If people ask questions that aren't @signed to somebody else, I'm going to have to assume they're for me. So, Patricia, when using Rufus to make a bootable USB, you don't have to form. No, you do not. Rufus will wipe it and start it from scratch. You don't have to wipe it. All right. Scott says my microphone's making terrible noises. Hopefully that sounds a little bit better. All right. Tom Jeffrey at 205. Mike, I'm just on the network part of the A+. Network part of the A+. Okay, I'm just curious about how different routers can use the same channel. Say a neighbor. How different routers can use the same channel. So routers don't use channels, right? Routers use layer 3 switching. Oh, Tom Jeffrey, are you talking about wireless? Are you talking about 802.11? Tom Jeffrey, I'm going to assume that's what you mean, is that you're talking about 802.11. And the answer is, how different routers can use the same wireless channel? Well, because they use special protocols. Oh my goodness. I've gone momentarily blank, sorry. They can use the same channels, but it's noisy and loud. So, Tom, just like you and me, if we're talking in a room and other people are trying to talk, I'm going to be saying, what? Excuse me, can you repeat that? Stuff like that a lot. Whereas if you and I are on a different frequency than everybody else, if everyone else is talking on that doesn't work. The analogy explodes horribly. We can do better than that. We prefer things to be on different channels, if at all possible, because it allows us to talk more clearly and more quickly. It's interesting, Tom. When someone asks me a question like the one you're asking me is, what level of depth are you really looking for here? So, Tom, what I would hope is either A, I've answered your question with the little bit of answer I have, or hopefully, Tom, you'll answer your question again in a more detailed way so that I can zoom in on it. But generally, if we can get SSIDs on different channels, that makes us happy because we're not competing with each other. Jason Helms at Mike will hopefully be getting some voucher from your site. I don't know. I have no context for this. I'm not sure what it means. Gruber Accountancy appreciates me being here. Yeah, sorry, Gruber. I'm in a bad mood today. I'm crabby. This is some other stuff that's not related to this or us going on has just, makes me want to punch things. Pillows and inanimate objects. Okay. Guillermo Moreno. Mike, also, I see on your practice schedule 1001 Chapter 10, there are a lot of CD, DVD, and BR speed questions. Is there going to be a lot of those on the real exam? No, but there'll be some. And Guillermo, do you actually say that I have a lot? A lot relative to what? Do I have 6? Do I have 12? There are speed questions for optical media still on the A+ exam, so I'll leave that. Thank you, Mr. G. I work really hard to make questions that, on my practice questions, if there's a real A+ question that says 3 + 3 = blank, I'm not going to give you that same question, well, because number one, it's immoral. Number two, it's illegal. And number three, it doesn't really help people pass stuff. When people start cheating and using brain dumps and tool sets like that copy exams, you really lose on what you're capable of doing as a technician, because you're going to find yourself quickly just memorizing questions, and then you're in trouble. In fact, even with my practice questions, I run into people who will try to memorize my practice questions, even though I'm telling you, if CompTIA has a question that says 3 plus 3 equals blank, I'll put questions in my practice test like 3 plus 2 equals blank, but I'm not going to put in the exact question. So people get in so much trouble. Oh, I've memorized 200 of Mike's questions. So that's D. No, it's not D. First of all, my stuff changes in my test engine, okay? The order of my questions change in my test engine, just like CompTIA does. So don't. If you're going to use my stuff, A, thank you, but B, trying to just memorize a bunch of answers to questions is going to get you in big trouble. The real test, if you want to know if you know any topic, it doesn't have to be a technical topic, it can be any topic. The real test is if you can then write your own questions. You want to say, am I ready for something? Am I ready for this or whatever? I'm going to keep telling you the same thing. It gets through to a few people, but not very many. If you can write your own practice questions or write your own flashcards or whatever that might be, that is the real proof that you know a topic. There's nothing else. And that's not just IT. You could be nursing, and it's still true. Looking for questions. Picked a heck of a day to quit sniffing glue. Griffin Novetsky. So I'm currently taking your A+ courses on Udemy. Thank you. Then we'll be progressing slowly through network and security before I graduate next year with an InfoSec degree. Griffin, what school do you go to that gets all these certifications? But good, you know. Griffin, most people, I tell them, don't use, it is a poor idea for people to go, I will get some certifications and then I will become employed. That's not accurate in the IT world. You get starting jobs that don't pay much, but they get your foot in the door. You work those jobs 3 to 6 months, and then you find another job. Certifications are something that should be done on nights and weekends. Now, what I'm seeing here, what you're saying, Griffin, is that you are pursuing a degree. Now, that could change things a little bit. If you're a full-time student, then I can see why people would want to accumulate a few certifications, as well as your degree that you're pursuing to help you be ready for a career in IT. So in your case, probably you're okay. 215, Michelle Almeida. Yeah. Thank you much, Mr. Myers. I would like to know if the Network Plus exam will have a new version in April. No. Michelle, I can tell you very little about that. Remember I was telling you everybody wants to own a piece of me? Well, CompTIA owns a piece of me too, and I'm under non-disclosure agreements to let you know what's happening with Network Plus. So as far as you're concerned, nothing's happening with Network Plus, and they will eventually announce, not by April, but they will announce something in probably late spring. I don't think it's unfair for me to tell you what I'm doing today. I'm working on a new outline for a new Network Plus book. That is the first thing I do. That's like months before anything happens, Michelle. That's the first thing I do. That is all the clue I'm going to give you. Figure it out. Oliver Freeman, 215. Mike, what's your opinion on the CBT Nuggets questions? I seem to be doing okay on the total seminars questions. When I get to CBT Nuggets, I start to struggle. Oh, I have not looked at CBT Nuggets in ages. I'm not against CBT Nuggets. Let me just take a quick peek, because it's been a while. God, well, he's god-awful. Well, Keith Barker helps write them. I know Keith Barker is a good trainer. All right, let's take a look at look at this situation. All right, so Oliver. So what's happening here is you're looking at CBT nuggets, and then you're looking at my practice questions, and you seem to struggle with the CBT nuggets questions. Okay. I don't have intimate knowledge of CBT nuggets questions, okay? But what I can tell you is this. I've always been a big believer in getting two sources for practice questions. I know I'm just coming up with all kinds of ways to spend your all's money today, aren't I? If you get two different copies of practice questions, what you find yourself not running into is that people who write practice questions have a writer's voice to it. If I'm reading Ernest Hemingway, I only need about 3 sentences and I know I'm reading a Hemingway novel. The same thing happens, obviously to a much lesser degree, but it also happens with practice questions. If all you read are my practice questions, you'll get stuck listening to the voice that I put into those questions. And then when you go to a question anybody else has written, it's going to be in a different voice. My quick guess here, Oliver, and it's just a guess, is that you've been concentrating on my training materials very, very hard. Yay, thank you. And CBT Nuggets is throwing a different voice to you. I don't know CBT Nuggets. I don't know. I know of the company. I've heard of them, of course. But I haven't looked at CBT Nuggets questions lately. I can tell you that I feel that my practice questions do a good job of emulating the look and the feel and the intensity of actual CompTIA questions. 219, Divine Mind. Mike, you are awesome. Divine Mind, whoever you are, thank you. I'm feeling very unappreciated this over the weekend, and Griffin Novetsky, 215. Do you think I should take any A plus or Net plus exams, or just focus on security certs? Griffin, I don't know who you are. Okay, I feel that for 75 to 80% of the people out there who want to be techs, you should look at A plus and Net plus. When I hear somebody like you say, should I just go for the security certs? I imagine somebody, and you know, again, I don't know you at all. Griffin, I'm just having a bit of fun on your expense, and that is, you know, some person's like, hey Mike, teach me how to play chess. So I'm like, okay, here's a chessboard, now here's a knight, and here's a king, and here's a pawn, and then that person goes, no, I don't want to learn about all that. Just show me how to checkmate. Why don't you show me how to checkmate? Why are you showing me how these pawns move? What's wrong with you? You're a terrible instructor. Griffin, if you're a highly skilled technician, I mean, what are the 4 steps of the DHCP handshake? Do you know those off the top of your head? Can you subnet a WAC 24 subnet into a WAC 30 subnet with a piece of paper? See what I'm saying? The Security Plus and most security courses certifications that are more technically based, just assume you know this stuff. They're going to ask questions about, John's having DHCP problems, and they're not going to. You just have to know what this is, and this is a security question. So yeah, you need Network Plus really, really bad, or the equivalent knowledge thereof. But I'm not going to just teach you how to checkmate, man. You got to learn how the pawns move. I have found that most people enjoy more success when they have an A plus and a Net plus certification before they go into security. Your mileage may vary, and I have met people who went their first certification course they ever took in their life was Security Plus. It's like, holy smoke. No, I'm going to go right into brain surgery here. Okay, I know how to use scissors. Let's cut out that medulla oblongata or whatever it is. So I would think you should do those first. 215, the Woofy. Hello. Did you saw the AMD Epic Gen 3 event? I did not, and I heard things about it, the Woofy. I'm sorry. You should tell me. Griffin Novetsky, apologize for... That's all right, Griffin. It's just, we get lots of people in here. Crazy homebody girl. What is the difference between a rootkit and a backdoor? Woo! Holy shimolian, crazy homebody girl. First of all, good to see you, crazy homebody girl. Glad to see you with us again. The difference between a rootkit and a backdoor. Sure. A rootkit is a form of malware that uses your boot sector as a tool set to embed itself. Okay? More than that, let's just say boot sector for now. A backdoor simply means a way for me to get into your system using something that doesn't look like it's supposed to be your system. For example, oh look, this chat tool has a backdoor that allows me to break into a system. That has nothing to do with a, what was the word? A rootkit, all right? Just because a piece of malware has a way, and it's usually a Trojan. Most often when you talk about backdoors, it's usually because there's a piece of software that you thought was nice, but there's something evil in it. Or I've developed a web page for some customers, and as a developer, I left in a backdoor so that I can get onto the web page and erase it if they don't pay me. Okay? So what's important now, crazy homebody girl, do you see that the term rootkit, which just has to do with how something loads itself, has nothing to do with a backdoor, which is just a way that means something that's been coded into a piece of software to allow access that people weren't anticipating. Very different animals. So the funny part is, crazy homebody girl, first of all, people do this all the time where they conglomerate terms that don't mean much together. But I always wish that I could just hit my Star Trek transporter beam and like come over to your house and go, okay, what's going through your brain when you ask that question? Okay? Because it's interesting to me, especially if you're looking at my training materials. I'm like, what do I do in my training materials that would create that confusion? I think about this stuff all the time. Guillermo Moreno, also, what is the best way? I love the word best. Okay? Best is such a dangerous word in IT. First of all, I always start, when anybody asks me what's the best way is don't touch it, don't even get involved with it. That's the best thing to do. Now, the place I do see the word best in IT is usually in certification tests. And it's usually going to be in multiple choice certification tests. You know, which of these 4 answers is the best? So now at least, okay, I see what they're asking. But when you say what's the best, then you leave literally, I could think of quickly off the top of my head about 17 different ways to reinstall Windows. Which is the best? I'd have to begin asking you questions. I would need a scenario. You know, are we just talking about you're trying to, are you trying to wipe a system clean? Did you lose a boot? Are you getting a boot error? You know what I mean? So I don't even know how to answer your question. So Guillermo, I guess the thing I would say to you is, in general, the best way to, assuming you have a production system that's working and something goes wrong, the best thing to do is get your boot media. You do have a copy of your boot media, right? You literally want to see me spin on my heel and leave, is when I meet people who don't even take enough time to make an emergency repair disk, or whatever Windows 10 calls it this week. It just drives me bonkers. How could anybody, especially nerds like us, not have a copy of your system image stored on a thumb drive? And I usually just tape it to the top of my monitor so I have a copy of it. Everybody's got one. People who don't do that are idiot users, and we take their money because we're techs, and they have to pay us to fix their problems. So that's the best way. The best way on a production system is usually to just use your system imagery backups that you've made and let that do a restore, Windows restore, and let Windows fix whatever the problem is. Windows 10 is absolutely unreal, incredible, and in its ability to bring a system back to life. Honestly, if you got a system image backup and you actually use restore points, Windows 10 is incredibly robust, and I would put it toe to toe against anything out there. But now, Guillermo, let's say you want also, what is the best way to reinstall? So let's say your goal instead is to wipe the system clean. You've got a whole bunch of old drives on there, and you want to just kind of wipe them out and all this. In reinstalling Windows, even though you could do a system rebuild, a lot of times people just go ahead and reinstall Windows just to wipe off all the gunk, as they say. And so that could be the best way. I don't know. You'd have to give me a lot more detail, but those would be the two things I could say closest to. Divine Mind, Mike, you are awesome. Divine Mind, you're just working hard. PETA would be sad. What's wrong, Jane? What did I do about PETA? Did I say? Oh, mouse. Big bucks, no whammies. 221. I'm only running 15 minutes late. That's not bad. Hey, Mike, love your channel. Love everything you do for people. Thank you. Today I need those. Divine Mind, yeah, hello. I am riled up. I gotta get mellow. I should, drugs. Surely you can't be serious. Ronald Amy Jr., good afternoon, Mike. Is the CCNA 125 obsolete? Rodney, I am out of the Cisco loop. I don't know. Can somebody help me out here and answer Rodney's question? Rodney Amy at 222. What's those? The CCNA 200-125 obsolete. I'm going to look that one up. Oh, here, I just looked it up. It's retired. It's retired. The 200-125 exam has been retired as of February 24th, 2020. Guillermo Moreno, Mike, what's your favorite Mexican food? Well, so here in Texas, we have the Rio Grande Valley, which is the border area between Texas and Mexico. And on the eastern part of the Rio Grande Valley, there are some schools out there that are, mainly Latino, but the food there, and I know, so I go down there to do train the trainers and stuff like that. So these guys are always coming in, and they're like, hey, Mike, here's, my wife whipped up some tortillas, or, here's some barbacoa, or some here, my abuela, she made me here's some nice pork tamales. So if you want to ask me what is my favorite Mexican food, it's Mexican food that's made by a family member with love is invariably going to be the best Mexican food you can eat. But in terms of a dish, I don't know. There's a lot of breakfast food I'll eat. I'll drink a big horchata from time to time if I'm pretty hungry. If I've got a good hangover, menudo is always good. For breakfast, I like machacado, which is eggs with dried beef in it. I like Mexican. I live in Houston, Texas. We all eat Mexican food around here. Okay. It's 2:39. Here in a few minutes, guys, we're going to start our first competition. Keisha Green, there she is. 2:23 p.m. Hello, everyone. Mike, what's the best way to use the objectives for Net Plus with your Udemy video? It definitely doesn't follow the objectives in order. That's right, Keisha. As even CompTIA has said many, many times, we do not list out the objectives for a certification as a instructional order. Anybody who ever tries to use any IT objectives as a table of contents to learn something is in deep doo-doo, because you'll end up repeating things over and over again that overlap. So thank you for that lovely compliment, Keisha. I never, ever use the objectives as a table of contents. It does not work from a learning experience. It doesn't stand true to any adult learning theory. Even CompTIA says, good God, please don't do that. Instead, consider the works of excellent trainers who look at the objectives and actually find and work hard to come up with the proper arc of knowledge that you need to grow from that. So the next question I'm going to ask you then, Keisha, is why do you want to follow the objectives in order? Now, before you answer that, you're not alone, Keisha. A lot of people do that. And they want to do that because they want to hit every objective. That's the biggest motivation I see when anybody starts pulling up the objective list for any certification and starts going, I'm going to use this as a training methodology. But what I'd recommend that you do instead, consider this, is, take a look at how my books lay out. Come on, Keisha, you're my success story, right? So I guess you'd have to tell me why you would want to use that, other than you want to make sure you cover all the objectives. K. Lyle B. I'm going through the Udemy courses while I'm majoring in information systems. Interesting. Okay, excellent. Andre said I started an hour early. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, Andre. We switched to daylight savings time. Jane Slayer, I use a test bank of about 1,000 questions. I find a massive bank of questions helps me. I do too, Jane. Me too. Because I can't memorize answers, but instead raise my grade based on memorization of concepts. I agree. I completely agree. And you've passed every CompTIA exam on your first attempt. There's proofs of the pudding there. Well done, Jane Slayer. K. Lyle B. Will the Mars 2021 still work? Nope, doesn't work. We change those out weekly. We like to see who's listening in. So unfortunately, K. Lyle B, that will not work. So instead, all you need to do, it's no big deal, K. Lyle B, just typed in the new code, and it should be there. James Bond, James Bond. Hey, what's up, James? Good old Red TV3. How's it going, man? Oh, sorry, Red. You know, there actually was supposed to be a topic today. This brings up an interesting issue. We got a few minutes for our first competition. And that is, I was looking into setting up a Samba server as a single sign-on identity provider, right? Make it like a domain controller. And in the conversation, it came up that Samba, which is a tool that you run on a Linux system, a completely free tool, can act, bark, smell, taste pretty much like a more modern Active Directory server. So last Wednesday I said that today I was going to be doing setting up a Samba machine as an Active Directory server, if for no other reason than to let you practice using Windows clients, logging on and off, and accessing domain resources. Wow, it wasn't. Let's just say I've run into a couple of problems, folks, and unfortunately, it's one of those embarrassing problems where it's like I look at a problem, and I go, I can work that out in 20 minutes, and it ends up taking a lot longer than that. So I am embarrassed to say that I do not have a functional Samba Active Directory, and I've been trying. So I almost had it in time for today, but I would rather get it running all the way, make sure the darn thing works properly, and then be able to show you guys what I did than to just rush it through. So we will get to Samba on Wednesday. Absolutely guaranteed. Oh, Tolowit 240. Menudo, not Backstreet Menudo. Menudo. It's a food, man. Brisket tacos, Jane Slayer. Can't argue against good tacos, man. With brisket. I like, God, almost any street taco. I'll eat lingua all day long. For the record, you guys call, what y'all call lingua tongue. It's delicious. If you like a delicious steak, you really need to try tongue, because cow tongue tastes like delicious tenderloin steak. It's that good. You do have to get around what you're eating. You got to kind of close your mind for the fact you're eating a bovine's tongue. But other than that, all of you vegans can turn your hearing aids back up. All right, what do we got? The Woofy, right now I'm watching your hardware courses, A+, and I just want to tell you you're doing an excellent job. Thanks, the Woofy. Yeah, I need positive reinforcement today so bad. The world is trying to drag me down, people. I'm coming here to you so that you can, I don't know, by helping you guys, maybe I make myself feel a little bit better. All right. Mitch Kramer. When using Cisco devices, can you mix STP and RSTP, or is that considered, what is considered? Mitch, I don't know. My quick guess would be you could mix them, but why? Especially if you're using all Cisco equipment. In that case, I would just assume RSTP. But the right answer is, Mitch, I apologize. Your question's a little bit outside of my skill set area. This is one of these things I know about, but I'd have to read and research a little bit to be able to get you an answer. But the most proper answer I can give you, Mitch, is I'm not sure. My soul would say RSTP in a pure Cisco environment. Jason Grant, Mike, I passed Pen Test Plus on Thursday. Congratulations. Since I have Pen Test Plus, do I need CEH? No. So, Jason, you need to go get a job, man. Go work. You may be working now. I should swear, everybody should say, like there should be a little E or U at the end of your name. E for employed, U for unemployed. Jason, it's almost like you're going for certifications on spec, which means this is what I think employers would want. I feel that that's a terrible reason to take any certification. You take a certification based on what your passion is. I mean, if pen test is the way to go, if that's what you're looking for, and you want to do pen testing, or even vulnerability assessments, then go for that kind of stuff. I feel that Pen Test Plus has done such a good job of positioning itself where it is that it's starting to eclipse Certified Ethical Hacker, and worse than that, it's the exam. The Pen Test Plus exam is like less than half the price of the Certified Ethical Hacker, which, got to tell you, man, I never would have thought that CompTIA would have started to become this great security maven thing that they've become. We'll see where it goes. Jane Slayer, who would ask such complicated questions about Active Directory services and Samba? One thing I can guarantee you is that these types of questions will not appear on a CompTIA A+, Net+, or Security+. Do be aware that Samba appears on both Net+ and Security+, but mainly just as definitional things. Jane, one of the things we run into here at the Mike's live stream AMA is that because I know so many folks are isolated by coronavirus, we spend an inordinate amount of time trying to come up with tools, mechanisms, and systems that you can use at home. And anytime, a couple of months ago, we did a whole thing on downloading a copy of of Windows Server and downloading it into a virtual machine and setting it up on a network. It was a pain, but we got through it. Dave Rush on Fridays. I'm on Mondays and Wednesdays. Dave Rush is on Fridays, and he does his Dave Rush Ask Mike Anything, DRAMA, drama. And Dave concentrates on using Raspberry Pis, not because he's trying to turn you into some great Raspberry Pi genius. There's a lot of very cool aspects of the Raspberry Pi that Dave doesn't touch on, because Dave's motivation with his Friday get-togethers is to develop a type of system, a Raspberry Pi, that costs $50 or less, to be able to do a lot of stuff that would normally take a big computer a lot more money to do. Setting up a DNS server, playing with chat tools. There's thousands of great things, and the Dave Rush AMAs have done a great job on that. So there you go. I've asked a question, and so Jane, the answer is like I say, we always allow and welcome questions that are not necessarily just in that tight little grouping of, is it on the exams? Looking for questions. $2:46 p.m. Tolowit. Yes. Tolowit, I got your Menudo joke. When Menudo says, shake your hips like this. Yes, I'm familiar with the boy band Menudo. I'm talking about the food. Okay. Maven Feliciano, Mike's the best. He needs a vacation. You got that right. I need to get out of town. Dr. Quinn. Hey, Dr. Quinn. Mike, your shirt sounds soothing. Difficult times. These are difficult times indeed. Mm-hmm. Yes, and Dr. Quinn, that's good positive energy. Thank you. 2:48. We're about to have our first competition. So, Mike, side note, you are doing great. Thank you. If I'm getting my degree in IS and do not immediately need a cert, should I just go through your Udemy course, pursue passion products, and pursue certs after? Yeah, probably, K-Lyle B. I mean, are you... I'm thinking about this one. If there's space and passion in your life, then you should work on certs. If the most important thing you got to deal with, K-Lyle B, is you want to get good grades so you can get a job. And if certificates are going to impede your ability to have good passion or impede your ability to have good grades, then yes, you should stop working on anything and just concentrate on your school. However, if you have time, if it's fun, then you should do it. Cancel the is. I got it, Dr. Quinn. Yeah, Friday Pi Day, I think, is becoming the hip term now. Install a VPN server on the Pi. Sounds cool, Dave. Dr. Quinn, Mike, do you know why CompTIA canceled healthcare IT? Come on. I can't say it out loud. I need a vacation in Europe. Oh my gosh, Andre. I tell you, if I went to Europe, I'd sure have plenty of people to crash with. I got invites from Zach in the UK. Andre said I could crash with him in Belgium. And Alex said that if I don't come visit her, she's going to murder me. So I'm going to come visit her too. Take a Hawaiian vacation. I haven't been to Hawaii in 10 years, Tolowit. Always enjoyed it. You know, I have never been to Molokai, the old, I wonder if people can get in there. I don't know. Scott Jernigan's typing, let's take a vacation like anywhere. Oh, shoot. Hey, Scott Jernigan, are you still around? I'm assuming Scott Jernigan's still around. Scott Jernigan's going to be here on Wednesday. Scott, here's your opportunity to say, no, you're not. But anyway, this Wednesday, Scott Jernigan is going to be physically here with me, holding my hands. But Scott will be here this Wednesday. Basically to kind of celebrate that the Security Plus book is done and moved on to the publisher. No. We're going to let Scott Jernigan confirm that. Jose Braden. I'm sorry. Who's Jose Braden? Folks, if you look in your chat window around 256, you'll see somebody called Jose Braden, who I have no idea who that is. It's a completely mysterious person to me. I may have once known a Jose Braden, but they disappeared on me, and I haven't seen them for a while. Hi, Jose. I'm just goofing with you. It's good to see you, man. Jose Braden is actually, while we're talking to things, Jose Braden is the creator of the Mike Meyers unofficial Discord channel. So if anything's wrong with the Discord channel, blame Jose, because I don't know. But no, everything worked great. Just so you guys do know, there is a Mike Meyers Discord channel. It's run by Jose, not me. Lack of sleep might be an issue too. It's run by Jose, and it's a great place to meet other people who are studying. It's turned into quite the little study group thing. It's also a good thing for people to throw in smart alecky commentary. Scott Jernigan has been posting that Discord. There he goes. Thanks again, Scott. Scott Jernigan just posted the Discord channel up there so you guys can see where it is. And I do tend to show up Mondays and Wednesdays after my AMA. So I'll show up today for a little bit to say hello. But do be aware that that is an option for you. And it's been growing and growing. And a lot of the crazy people you see on here are on there as well. Oh, I just started a buffer. Okay, we're going to gamble that was a one-time buffer and we'll ignore it. No. Great Scott. I'm just saying get the knowledge and eventually get a paper cert. Yeah. Kyle B., in the IT world, there's a lot of people who don't believe in certifications at all. And I got to tell you, for a lot of people, certifications are not the best way to go. And I know, this is Mike Meyers, the guy who literally pays his mortgage through people buying his certification training material. What I'm talking about is for certain types of kinesthetic people who really are learned by doing, or they do it one time and they got it memorized. They can pick up so much skills just through OJT or through side learning of their own that they can rock technical interviews. And that's really where your certification tends to shine more than anything else, is in a technical interview. Because most jobs, most IT jobs require some form of technical interview. And that's really where the difference is. And for a small number of people, they don't need it. And they tend to be very vocal. They're like vegans, you know. They're just like, you know. Anybody who doesn't like certifications, you'll know that they're a person who doesn't like certifications within about 90 seconds of meeting them. You know, like vegans. Or people who graduate from Harvard. Or people who live in Texas. All of these types of people will let you know about them within... I'm actually quoting Queen Elizabeth on that one. Really. Yeah, the real Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. She once gave a speech that said, "You can always tell if someone's from Texas or graduated from Harvard, because within a minute of meeting them, they'll tell you." All right. Scott says, I missed one. Back at the 2:30 mark, Andrew Parrish. Hey, Mike. Andrew Parrish passed the 1002. Wired on 3 Red Bulls. Haromba. Till above the AirPlus certified moon. It was cool. I gift you a pizza sometime. You, Andrew Parrish, may gift me a pizza. Pepperoni, mushroom, black olive, little extra cheese. Crispy crust. Okay, you can go completely the other way on that and make it a Chicago deep dish, but those are my kind of pizzas. Yes, Jason, 257. Scott and I will be holding hands and singing Kumbaya. All right, it's 3 o'clock. Let's have a competition. You guys ready? All right, who was it, Jen? Who was the person I was saying they were testing on Saturday? Hold on. Queuing up some questions. So I'm actually pulling these practice questions from my my actual practice questions. All right, you guys, so here's how this works. You ready? Whoever puts the right answer on the chat first wins. That's number 1. Number 2, just because you think you're first, that doesn't mean I'm going to see you as first. Everybody's chat window is different, so don't go trying to sit there and go, I was first. Maybe it was on your screen, but it wasn't on mine. Number 3, this is not a fair competition. Simply because of the speed I want to get through things and all that, sometimes stuff gets a little confused. And if that happens, sorry, we're just here to have a little fun, and I'm giving away free stuff, and there's only about 60 people, so you got amazing odds, so let's go for it. All right, let's do a practice question. My phone is going bonkers. Oh. Sorry, guys. I get a lot of distractions, so if I get quiet, things happen. 2:31 p.m. Goldie San. Hi, Mike. My boyfriend and I are taking your A+ exams. I love them. All right. Happy couples taking my training together. How cute is that, you big cutie pies? Oh, my goodness. Griffin Ovetsky, what's your preferred browser for privacy and why? I like Firefox. That's usually my primary go-to. I like Firefox not because it's good at privacy. It's because Firefox it's pretty good at privacy, but more importantly, Firefox allows me to add just about any add-on I can dream of to do whatever I want. So Firefox tends to be my first one. I am falling in love with Brave. So Brave is a browser that concentrates on security. I like it quite a bit, but I've been using it on my phone exclusively. Been pretty happy with the results so far. All right, let's get a test question going here. The problem is I have all these different test banks. I want to do a Network Plus. That'll be fun. We never do Network Plus. Never do Network Plus. Hang on, guys. I don't know why I don't remember to have this queued up. All right. So I'm going to show you guys the question, and then whoever answers it wins. All right, we're going to go into practice mode. Start test. Now I got to scroll through. Okay, you guys ready? Now remember, this is a multiple choice question, so it's A, B, C, and D. Do not write down A, B, C, or D. You actually have to write the answer itself in order to be considered a winner, okay? So here we go. Guys, ready? Ready on the keyboard. Let me get this in there so everybody can see it. Which technology is used to connect public networks over POTS lines? Which technology is used to connect public networks over POTS lines? Give you guys a minute to type something in. Jen. That's right, it was Jen. All right, Jen, come on, man. Jen, I'm rooting for you. Pineapple pizza. Oh, goodness, everybody got this one. All right, so I have a winner, and the winner is, wait, I got everything. And the winner is Victor. To the victor belongs the spoils. Yes, Victor, the answer is PSTN. POT stands for plain old telephone service, old school analog lines. PSTN stands for a publicly switched telephone network, or PSTN, and that is the correct answer. Victor, congratulations to you. You have won your choice of either A+, Net+, or Security Plus practice questions. In order to get your practice questions, you need to send an email to Kathy Y, that's Kathy with a K, K-A-T-H-Y-Y, at totalsem.com. Do remember, we're a little busy right now, so buddies like Maven or Jane, whoever it was before that was having some trouble, please bear with us. It should never take more than a few days to do this, but please be nice. This stuff's free. I'm giving it away, and people are sending me crabby emails. Crabby emails. I'm such a happy person. Look at Teams. Okay, I looked at Teams. I'm sure it's something that happened earlier. Okay. Teacher Russell is here. Good Lord, I got all kinds of folks I haven't seen for a while. Good to see you again. Oh, Zach, you passed your Net Plus on Saturday. Congratulations. Well done. Look at this. Big bucks, no whammies. Hey, are you using a foldable phone? Yes, I use a foldable phone. This is the Galaxy Foldable. Oops, that's a map of Houston. The black and white's just because I like the look of it. Yeah. They're pretty cool. All right. What is the prize? The prize is the same prize it always is, Andre. Free access to practice questions. Got a lot of people got PSTN, so good for you all. See, here's where all the new faces start to show up. CANA V844, Joe A. I've seen Joe A around before. USA Health Insurance Reform. Good to see you. Just seeing who's here. Jimmy Milligan. What? Okay. All right. All right, so it's 3:08. Now again, guys, do keep in mind that we only run until the questions run out or 4 o'clock comes around, whichever comes first. So if you want me to keep talking, you got to keep asking questions. If not, that's not a big deal. We end early, about half the time or so, maybe a little more than that, and that's always great. But do keep in mind that this is called the Mike Meyers Ask Mike Anything. And I'm buffering again, too. Jane Slayer, Mike, you guys give such nice help. And sir, hey, we're here to help. That's what we're here to do. And because I make $25,000 every time I come on. God, I wish that was true. I make this much for doing this. Elbow, curious if Mike answered my question about customer knowledge level. Oops. Elbow, I probably missed it, dude. Elbow, just resend the question. Sorry about that. Scott Scott and Dave Rush are very good about posting questions I might miss. 303 XMA support. XMA. Is somebody asking about XMA support? I don't know. Scott Jernigan's giving me clues that I don't know what he's talking about. I'm so confused right now. 303. Oh, there's a person actually called XMA support. Ah, okay. Do you need to necessarily do lab work to pass the CompTIA A+? Or can you just study the content and practice questions? Actually, XMA support, that's a good one. I think you could probably get away with very little in the way of lab work. But things like running the command line and stuff like that, sorry, I can't imagine how you do that without a lab. But you could probably squeak by on the A+ without doing any practical work. I wouldn't recommend it. But even more than that, I wouldn't want to avoid the practical work because I love doing this stuff. So if I got questions on how to run netstat on in a command line on the A+, I want to run it. No, do I have an official lab? No, I do not have an official. I don't need one because I'm going to see, here is Mike Meyers talking about the netstat, and he's got a couple of examples. I'm going to run those examples on my computer and understand them and use them. So I, in essence, make my own lab. I now have a netstat lab because I've fired up netstat, used different flags different ways, and got some answers. I wouldn't want to try to do it without lab work. Tom Jeffrey, Mike, I wish I had your energy on a bad day. Tom Jeffrey, I am running on batteries right now, and the batteries are, I've got one little flashing light bulb on the left-hand side. Oh, you guys are hilarious. I love the bad answers that you guys put in for the competition. Oh, 3:01 p.m. Leo Dela Cruz. Hello, hello, Leo. Welcome aboard, man. Have I had a Coney dog in Detroit? I have. It's different depending on where you get it across the country. That is very true. But I mean, look at me. Me and food go way back, kids. Where's Dr. Quinn supposed to be backing me up, man? That's what I pay you the money for. 3:04 p.m. Michael Amon. Hey, Mike. Started my IT career in 2014 after passing A+. Learning from you. Yep, excellent. Had a big impact on my life. Thank you for learning, make a friend. You're welcome. Well done, Michael. Tolowit, one word, plastics. Yes, I've watched The Graduate, Tolowit. Okay, Baby Feliciano, I just started using Brave. I like Brave. To me, it's not really the browser's job to protect me. It's the job of my firewalling. It's the job of my own security policies. It's the job of the add-ons that I choose to put on there to make my security. If I want to be secure, I make sure I've got a robust VPN all the time. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Brave, and there's a lot of features like HTTPS everywhere. Does anybody remember there used to be websites that were not secure? They were just HTTP. And so I used to use an add-on called HTTPS everywhere, which basically means if I clicked on a link and it was linking me to a non-secure site, HTTPS everywhere would just add a HTTPS : whack whack. It was just to try to look for a secure version of a website. And well, now that's built into pretty much every browser. So that what starts as an add-on becomes an intrinsic part of the browser, which is good, I guess. Okay. Ouch. What did I say ouch about? Oh no. This is it's only the downside is because there's always a delay. So at 3:04, a couple of people typed in ouch, net plus, ouch. I hope Scott Jernigan isn't saying anything to me and he's not cutting me off, so I guess we're doing okay. Big bucks, no whammies. Hey, are you using a foldable phone? I was. In fact, I'm probably going to get another foldable phone. This one's nice, but they have another one that folds this way. They're all Samsungs. Thinking about getting that. So Andrew Parrish says lab work is not required, and I wouldn't study practice questions. If anything, look at the explanations with the wrong answer. I'd go with that. Andrew, the tricky part is everybody has a different study habit. That's always a big challenge for me because people are like, how many hours does it take to study for the A+? Or what do I need to buy to pass the Network Plus? And it's just everybody's so different. It almost requires me to have like a 10-minute conversation with every different person about how they work. Like, for example, Andrew, you're saying lab work is not required. My challenge to that, and I'm not saying you're wrong, you're not wrong, because that's how I started by saying you don't need a lab. But to me, like using that netstat analogy, isn't that a lab? Even though I'm just in there putzing around and playing with the netstat command, doing, minus A, minus N, that kind of a thing. Am I not still in a lab? There's no right answer to that, guys. I'm just saying. Oh, I had scrolled up because I had missed some questions, and I'm scrolling back down. See, this is the other big challenge to this, is the live chat window that I see is not a nice, smooth, scrolling thing. It'll sit there and not move for like 3 minutes, and all of a sudden it goes, and I get 150 posts, and then I'm trying to remember where I was in here. How are we doing? 317. We're going to have another competition. I'm going to have at least one more. Oh, that's right. I was trying to dig up Elbow's question. Elbow, you're going to have to ask me again. I'm sorry, man. I scrolled backwards trying to find it. I was unsuccessful. Andre, I've got the questions. I don't want to have any more competitions on questions. I want competitions on videos and books now. We do what we can here, man. 309, Tim Lynch Jr. Hello, Tim Lynch Jr. Welcome aboard, man. 310, Teacher Russell. Is the current Net Plus retiring soon, or did it already happen? There've been no announcements. There have been no public announcements, and my hands are super tied because heaven forbid I might actually help people, but it's okay. Teacher Russell, there is no official news on the CompTIA Network Plus. I said some stuff earlier that you can look at any way you want. 3:10 p.m., big bucks, no whammies. Hey, Mike, what are the best study habits to help you retain and recall the A+ certification study materials? Well, the best study habit is make study habits. I mean, I'm serious. Most people don't really have any kind of study habit. And guys, I'm telling you, look at me. I am not the king of discipline, all right? But good study discipline, setting aside time, making sure the time that you have is used well, turning off YouTube videos or whatever else you have going in the background. That's the biggest first step there is to any kind of best first action. Be disciplined in your study time. Be disciplined in your study action. From there, everybody's different, and I always get in trouble because I don't want to say anything, big bucks, because I don't want to warp anybody. Like for me, I'm a book reader. I like books. I almost always buy a book. If I'm going to go for a certification, I guarantee you I've bought a book. And it's almost always a paper book too, by the way. I just like paper books. So I'll read the book, watch some videos. Of course, my videos are actually track roughly to my books. They're not exact, but they're pretty close. So, I mean, if you're going to have a book, try to get videos that track to that book. But that's really about all I got to say on that. What the most important study skill is to actually study. Zach Morrill, how come you started earlier today? Zach, we did not start it earlier today. We started at exactly 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Here in the United States, everybody sprung forward. Everything's an hour earlier. We are now on Daylight Time in the United States, so we did start an hour earlier. Maybe America's going to change that. $3.10, Michael Amon. I've been watching your curious. How long did it take you to do the whole series from planning to filming to finally uploading it? The A+ series? 2 months? Videos are a lot faster than books. A lot faster. Mainly because we're in control of most of the steps here at Total Seminars. Jason Helms at 3:10. Mike, I thought it was POTS and not PSTN. POTS, plain old telephone system. What are you asking me? Well, let's take a look. All right, no, this is good stuff. Let's take a look. Let's go to the lift monitor. All right, so here's the question we had. So you can see that the question used the word POTS in it, okay? But the only answer was PSTN. That would have fit the criteria that I liked. So it could not have been POTS because POTS wasn't an answer. Jane Slayer, 3:10 p.m. Hey, Mike, I bought a book for learning Active Directory, but it covers Server 2008. Do you think it'll be relatively at all or ditch it? Jane, it's probably fine. The questions you're going to be running into at the small amount of A+, a good amount of Net+, and a small amount of Server+, they're not going to ask you super detailed questions about Active Directory. So, I apologize for all this yawning, guys. I know how bad yawning looks like on camera, and for every yawn you see me do, I've got 3 I'm, stifling, so I apologize. It will probably be relevant. It'll probably be just fine, Jane, honestly. I mean, the core pieces of Active Directory haven't changed in 20 years. Waterfall Guy 59, what do you suggest for web administration training? Gosh. I'm going blank. Web administration. There's a wonderful series of very popular certification. I'm going to remember the name. Or hopefully there's maybe 20 people in there that can remember. It's like saying MCSE, it's super common. Come on, guys, help me out. Super popular web admin certification series. It'll come to me in a minute. Elbow, Mike, what would you say is the most common knowledge level of customers? From don't know anything and need everything explained to has a grasp of what you say to knows everything. I would say the vast majority of customers that I'm providing level 1 technical support for don't know anything at all. The vast majority of users know nothing. Or they know so little that it can be a little bit frustrating to work with them. 3:12 p.m. Andrew Parrish. Hey, Mike. When my cousin and I we thought it would be funny to delete the Windows folder. Ooh, not good. We succeeded in deleting almost all of it, and the OS was trashed. Have you ever done this before? Many, many times, Andrew. Or I've done, what happens if I wipe out the System32? What happens if I delete the registry? That fits under what I call the CIC rule, because it's cool. Yeah, no, I've done all those things. Danielle Makaya. Hello, Mike. 3:15 p.m. I'm registered for the A+ test 2 weeks from now. Good. All right. And it tells me to agree to a candidate agreement, and I have to know clue where to find that. Could you help me find the candidate agreement? Oh, well, so Daniel, traditionally when you go to a testing center, they hand you a piece of paper called a candidate agreement. And this candidate agreement basically says, I will not lie, cheat, steal, nor will I tolerate those who do, that kind of a thing. But if you take a home test, it's electronic. So it's not something for you to find per se. It's something for you to sign when you get to the testing center, or it's a form for you to fill out, or basically just sign. There's not much to, it's a couple of check boxes, but that's it, that you do at the actual test itself. So there's nothing for you to find ahead of time. I don't even know if they give you access to that form ahead of time. There's Jen. Just bought the Total Sims and Total Test. Thanks for the encouraging words by Jen. She bought them all. I guess if you're testing on Saturday, Jen, I was hoping you were going to compete because we're about to have another competition. Get yourself a free one, but this is okay. It's all good. This is not. Jen, I hope you took advantage of the 50% off deal. Uh, 3:16 p.m. Tim Lynch Jr. What's the best way to remember port numbers? The best way to remember port numbers, Tim, is to first and foremost memorize the protocols. I can say a lot more about SMTP other than what port number it uses. I can talk a lot more about DNS than what port number it uses. So port number is just one of these little things we make a point to know when we're studying about a protocol. I don't study ports as a separate thing. I guess if I'm actually in the study mode, then I might do something like that. Like have, like FTP 21, SSH 22, Telnet 23, SMTP 25. I've seen some folks use flashcards for stuff like that. That's worked out pretty good too. No, I don't sell flashcards. Make your own. Treat it as a lab. Okay, 3:27. Our next competition is going to be in 3 minutes. Ooh, that's a good question. It's a very good question. I got a tough, our next competition is going to have a challenging networking question. Gruber County. Discussion on Windows install with Guillermo was awesome. Okay. All right. I don't know what he's talking about. There, see, Teacher Russell even says flashcards. Tawny, oh gosh, I'm going to try Tawny. Schleins? Am I close? Tawny Schleins. I still laugh at your video where you said, who Mike Jones? Nobody gets that, the who Mike Jones. It's a Houston thing, guys. Everybody loves the war driving video, Tawny. We had fun making it. I only wish we'd had like a 1992 car or something. I don't know. Looking for questions, digging through here. Y'all are talking to each other, which is great. Big bucks, no whammies at 3:25. Hey, Mike, my 11-year-old son is watching this with me. Oh, boy. And it's becoming interesting technology. Would you mind saying hello? His name is D3. Big bucks, no whammies. Your child's name is D3? You sunk my battleship. Or bingo. I'm not sure which. No, it wouldn't be bingo. It's a D. Anyway, hello, 11-year-old son of Big Bucks, No Whammies. Welcome aboard. And always good to see a fellow nerd. Oh, still, my Elbow's talking about, where's the skill set of users. My favorite one to this day is still the day when I got a call from a engineer, And he's like, I've inserted 3 CDs into your computer and none of them have come out. And it was that little gap space in a 5 1/4 inch slot, the little, you put your spacers in. There's a little tiny space, this guy's dropping them in there like used razor blades. It was hilarious. And more than that, he was an engineer. All right. Roland Dog sent me an email. Roland Dog. So, guys, the other thing is, if you send me an email and you don't tell me what your name is, a lot of times I don't put 2 and 2 together. Now, look, I don't mind keeping things top secret. I always will. But I did get quite a few emails. But they're not really like technical questions. They're more like personal questions. 3:27 p.m. Oh, let's go ahead and have our next competition. You guys ready? Let's get ready for our second competition, which may be our last competition today too. But let's have one more competition. I'm looking at this question one more time to make sure there's not going to be, there's a little bit of it. All right, we're going to go for this, guys. You ready? Let's get ready. Hands on. Remember, you cannot type A, B, C, or D. You have to actually write out the answer. So let's go ahead and let's hear our second competition. We're again competing for free practice questions. An IPS that uses statistics to track and analyze network traffic anomalies is said to be. I'm going to let you guys read that for a minute. Let you guys get your chance to tear into that. All right. You got any answers popping up? Oh, here we go. Oh, good Lord. All right. I'm not actually sure what the right answer is. I think the right answer is behavior-based. But let's see if I'm right. All right. Your answer of C is correct. Oh, and by the way, folks, when you're looking at it, this is the actual test engine that we've developed at Total Seminars. So it's behavior-based. Absolutely, it's behavior-based. All right. Now, I want you to look at this question for a minute. How many of you guys, don't answer this, but I'll bet a lot of you guys got intimidated when you first read this, okay? So, an IPS, so intrusion prevention system that uses statistics to track and analyze anomalies. So, if it's using statistics, that is a behavior, right? It's looking for anomalies based on a behavior. So that one's pretty easy. But this is a classic type of Network Plus question. So it's behavior based. Do we have any winners? You guys are hilarious. Okay, so who do we have? All right, I'm going to have to go with Maven Feliciano. Maven, congratulations. You have won. Didn't you already win one? You can win 2. Nothing wrong with that. You have won your choice of A+, Net Plus, or Security Plus practice questions. In order to take advantage of your questions, all you have to do is send an email to Kathy Y. That's KATHYY at totalsem.com. And just tell her, you have to say what your name is. You have to say what your YouTube name is, okay? In that email, put your YouTube name in there, and then also put in what you want, A+, Net Plus, or Security Plus. And remember, we're a little tiny company, guys. These things have to be done kind of manually, so please bear with us and give us a day or two. Poor Kathy is, not only is she doing a real job, but we give stuff away too as well. She does her best, so congratulations to you, sir. All right. Sorry, Andre. I know I make people yawn when I start doing that yawning. Okay, Zach, so y'all do have daylight savings in the UK. I figured you did. I mean, da-da-da-da. Daniel Micaiah, how much should I dedicate for performance-based questions? Okay, a couple of things here. Daniel Micaiah, number one, in my opinion, on the A+ and Net+, the easiest questions on the exam are the performance-based questions. To me, most of the performance-based questions that are actually on the A+ and Net+, I won't say this is true for the Security Plus, is they're basically just drag and drop, which really makes them just multiple choice questions. They're just pretty multiple choice questions. When you run into a performance, first of all, the performance-based questions are going to usually almost always be the first questions you get. The first questions you get when you take a test are going to be the performance-based questions. Then you probably get a couple of ungraded beta questions. Then you get the actual multiple choice questions. And you don't know which ones are the betas. Oh, you'll know which ones are the betas because you'll have no idea what the right answer is. It's usually the best clue. The only thing I can say about performance-based questions more than anything else is remember, you only got 90 minutes to take an exam. 90 or 100, depending on what exam you're taking. And I have seen people, like they'll have 5 performance-based questions, and they will spend half of their exam time just on the performance-based questions. That's a mistake. You shouldn't be spending more than 2 or 3 minutes per performance-based question. And if you need more time than that, mark them and then just come back to them later. Tawny says, thank you for making the learning process engaging and fun as I yawn. It's like, Tawny, I have a hard life. It's hard being me. It's not easy being green. That's true. Not all the United States has daylight savings. Chris Cunningham, 321. Wasn't there a famous wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals called Chris Cunningham? I started a boot camp with Quick Start and was about to finish up graduation. I could start looking for jobs before I passed all the CompTIA exams. We went over during or wait till after I pass. You never wait for a job, Chris. You're always pursuing a job. Everybody should be working. And if you're not working, that's a problem. As I had said earlier today, the only thing I can see why people might stall working is for like a 4-year degree or a well-established 2-year degree. Always be looking for a job. Always. Yeah, I'm making everybody yawn. I am so sorry, guys. No, it's not AWS, Andre. Oh, come on, guys. Super popular. Here, I'm going to look up. My goodness. I hadn't thought about AWS. Wow. I'm going to back away from this. This is where I got something dated. Let's go with AWS. Josh Dope at 324. Would you recommend going to college, university, or go straight into getting a job? Josh, I tell everybody, if it's possible, and if you are the type of person, everybody should have a university degree, at the very least a bachelor's degree. Now that's a nice word to say, but that doesn't really base itself on reality. I, for example, have been too busy working and making money to ever finish my bachelor's degree. I do not have a college degree. I've got 100 and some odd hours, but I don't have a degree. but I'm kind of a fluke on that. You know, it really just depends who you are as a person, John. I mean, in general, you should always go for a degree if you can get it. If you cannot get a 4-year degree, you should seriously look at a 2-year degree, what we call an associate's degree here in the States. If that doesn't work, you should consider a tech school that's a shorter program than that. And then if not that, then just get a job and be prepared to spend the first 2 years of your life making, you know, sub $15 an hour. So big bucks, no whammies. Did D3 try to answer that question? The one we did earlier about the behavioral based. Here's Tyler Siriski. Am I close? My computer is giving me the black screen of death. Yay, I checked if it was my graphics card. If I switch it out with another one, it still shows the black screen. What do you think the problem might be? Is it making any beeping noises? Are you getting a power on self-test? If you're just staying black, the screen, is the screen truly black? And, you know, did you try another monitor? Even on an nice top-line LED, you can still turn the brightness all the way down. So I would be double-checking the monitors in good shape, the same. Maybe Feliciano. Mike Jones, the rapper, right? Right. All right, I'm going to admit it quietly. There is a lot of rap music I enjoy, but most people look at me and don't believe that I enjoy rap music. And they're right. There's a lot of rap music I think's junk. But there's a lot of stuff that happens, especially here in the Houston area, which I think has an amazing hip-hop music scene. And yes, so I will do Mike Jones all day long. Adriano Oliveira. I just want to say that your explanation about cryptography and the Security Plus... Wow, geez, thanks. Dakota Oni. Hey, Mike, I just got my first job as a knock technician. Yay! Thanks for helping inspire me to get a job. Nah, you have a job. Now you must send me $100 a week for the rest of your life. Okay, I'm kidding. Daniel Mackay, you skipped my question. I think I finally caught up to it. Goodness sakes. This scrolling is really frustrating to me. Just because there's some of these big pauses, guys, where I'm like, okay, where am I at? Daniel Mackay, I have done a bunch of practice questions, including your... Okay, we already answered that one. Tyler Surinsky, what do you think might have died? I'm thinking that either, my quick guess is, I mean, Tyler, do you get any beep codes? Does anything ever appear on the screen at any moment? If nothing's appearing on the screen, do you get a fan spinning up? Are you getting any light? Is there legitimate power getting to this system? Black screen of death just means nothing showing up on the screen. If you'd have said blue screen of death, that might have been a little bit more helpful to me. And again, this is always a problem. Don't freak out. In fact, what we should do is join the Discord channel here in about probably about 20 minutes or so, and then ask your question. Because it's tough for me to answer diagnostic questions in this type of live chat where people just post. But do please consider joining the Discord channel today. Bring a headset along so we can talk. And not only me, but there's a lot of good techs in there. I'm not alone. So Tolowit and Andre and Zach, and there's good techs in there who can help, even if I'm not there. So take a look at that Discord channel. Please consider jumping aboard and asking this exact question, because I think it would be a good question to answer, Tyler. Andrew Parrish agrees with me that the performance-based questions are easy. You got to be careful here. They're easy because if a picture is more important than 1,000 words. I'm going blank how that works. A lot of times they're just very simple. I think the hardest part of performance-based questions on any CompTIA exam is trying to figure out what the heck are they trying to say. Because you're looking through this, and invariably when you're doing a performance-based question, there's like a big set of instructions that blocks your way, and you got to be moving this around all the time. And it's like the last thing you want to be doing while you're trying to figure out, what is this graphic? Are they trying to show that as a piece of RAM or a router? That's no standard Cisco nomenclature or whatever it might be. You take, 20, 30 seconds to figure out where the heck they're trying to do, and then you answer the question. And then usually it's pretty easy. Oh, what replaced the MCSA? I'm not going to sweat over what that certification is, guys, because I got to be honest with you. I'm worried that even if I were to suddenly remember what that web administration certification is, the fact that it didn't pop up and instead a bunch of AWS stuff popped up means maybe I need to think about what I'm saying in that particular department. Ulysses Ferrer finally shows up. Oh, we've been having so much fun without you. Daniel Micaiah, how can I add you on Steam? I tried your username. Oh, on Steam? All right, to talk on Steam, I am Senor Pepe. SENOR space PEPE. That's my name on Steam. And sorry, man. I've been using that name for a very, very long time, and I'm not going to change it yet. So, Senor Pepe, that's how you get a hold of me on Steam. Looking for questions in here. Oh, there you go. Scott Dringen already had the answer for me. All right, looks like you're starting to quiet down a little bit, which is fine. It's all good. Our 2 hours is almost over. All right, let me take one more little peek, see if there's any more questions. 3:41 p.m. Dudus Maximus. Hey, Mike, have read, used your A+ and upload books as reference. Love it. Thank you. Currently a system admin for a local business, but I feel stuck. Advice on advancing myself? Sure. Dudus, this happens to all of us. You have to know why you're stuck, all right? A lot of times people say they're stuck, and it ends up they're stuck is because they're not taking advantage of, employment educational certification courses or, extra money so you can take classes. Sometimes you can have a jerk of a boss who's slowing you down, things like that. But the first thing, and I know I say this so much that it bores you guys, but where's your passion? This is too hard of an industry to not be passionate about. I love this stuff. I love it. I wish that I had time to show you how I was screwing up the Samba server today, trying to prep for my Samba, and I wasn't ready, but it was like really cool, the problems I was running into. So for me, it's where the passion is. So if you're hitting a dead end, and it's really because of what you're doing, not because of how you're not taking advantage of those things like we talked about a minute ago. Move. I guess maybe if you got like 6 kids and you got to take care of them and you got a stay-at-home significant other, and I could see where people get stuck like that. But even people like that, they're not really stuck. They just made a choice, And I would hope that they're happy with that choice. Send me an email. Tell you what, I want to give this Dudus Maximus, I want to give it a better answer than what I'm saying right now. So go ahead, Dudus Maximus, send me an email, and we can talk about this a little bit. Just get some ideas together. All right. Okay. Tyler, sometimes it makes noise, okay? Tyler, Is it making spinning up noises? Do you have like hard drives in there that are spinning up? Are the fans spinning up? Do you have a little light on the motherboard that shows that you've got a power good coming in? Lots of questions there. The monitor is fine. Tyler, I'm betting a nickel you got a motherboard problem. We'll see it. But man, Tyler, I sure hope that you come on to the Discord here. I will be on today. It's 3:50 now. We're going to stop in about 2 minutes, and then we're going to from there. Jason Grant. Mike, thanks for answering my question about pen tests and CEH. I'm already employed. Okay, good. People need to be working. It's just so frustrating me. People are like, well, I'm going to do this and that, and then I'll get it. No. Go get a job. Go get a job. Good to the sort. Daniel Micaiah, you're like a machine. You're learning Python? Ooh. Will Python be a good language to learn for this industry? Python's a great language. I mean, there's, JavaScript, Python, C#. To me, if you can do one programming language, you can do any programming language. It's a matter of working with subtle differences between them. Victoria Garcia, I'm passionate about computers too. That's why I'm excited about getting in the field. That's what I like to hear, right, Victoria? Look, this is too hard of a job to not love. I mean, if you just want to get a job to make money, go be an electrician. If you want to just make money, come down to Houston, Texas. We can get you a job out on one of the plants. You start making like $18 an hour. You work 40 hours a week, and but you don't need passion to make a little bit of money. I think you need passion to make money when it comes to working in the world of IT. All right, well, guys, that's all I've got for today. Remember, Scott Jernigan, I'm going to have to see if Scott Jernigan is, or a plumber, I'm going to see if Scott Jernigan can confirm he'll be here Wednesday or not. He should be here Wednesday. We will have something on Samba. I got to tell you, the other thing that hit me is I would almost rather do a Samba course and then add a Samba server as an aside and make sure we hit Samba questions that I know are on the A+, Net+, and Security+. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tweak this. I've got to write this down or I'll forget. I have completely forgotten how to write cursive. I have to do everything I printed all. All right, guys, well, that's about it for today. Looks like we're going to be wrapping up. Don't forget the AMA special for the week is 50% off all CompTIA total tester practice exams and bundles. Remember, the bundles combine the multiple choice with the performance-based questions all in one thing. Just head over to www.totalsim.com. Head over to the merchant area, load it full of practice questions, and just before you check out, type in MAINE, M-A-I-N-E, 1820. Check out at www.totalsim.com. Didn't Maine become a state in 1820? Oh well, it's not important. Anyway, but hope to see you guys all in the Discord channel in about 10 minutes or so. This is Mike. I am out of here. We will see you on Wednesday. And until then, don't forget to like and subscribe. I know I don't make any money, but the liking and subscribe helps ads improve, and it helps get our visibility on searches. So please do a like and subscribe, even though it doesn't have, I don't care about the money. I just like to be able to find this stuff. I am out of here, guys. I will see you all. 596_TYIT Visual Sangji. Do you give giveaway for your courses? I give some stuff away. We had 2 giveaways today, and it was very much fun. All right, anyways, guys, may even see y'all later, man. Okay, guys, I'll talk to y'all on Wednesday, unless I'm going to see you on the Discord here in about 50 minutes. Everybody, talk to you soon. This is your Uncle Mikey saying good night, and we're off.